Thanks to Clana for sponsoring this video.
Hello and welcome to the show. My name is Alex and this is TechFlow. Over the years, I have done so many walk around tours of my smart home. And it's been great because over the years, you guys have seen it evolve. I wanted to make a video though on the items that I use on a daily basis. The items that actually have a massive impact on what I do with my day and how I do it. And this is that video. Now, surprisingly, some of the items on this list are quite cheap and some of them are rather expensive. But we'll start this off with a cheap item that I didn't think would make it to the list, and that is the Switchbot lineup. Now, these basically started out as little devices, little robot arms that could click a button for you. And over time, Switchbot developed things like the Switchbot Hub, which enabled you to control your robot arms over the internet because each of the little robot arms just has Bluetooth built in. Now, I use a few of the little Switchbot robot arms around my house, mainly to control my heating and different things like that, but that isn't the main reason I use Switchbot. My main reason is the Switchbot Hub. It also has an IR blaster built into it, and this is where you really have to use your brain to think about what these things can do. With a simple scene or routine set up inside of the Switchbot Hub, if it goes over 21 degrees in the studio, it will automatically IR blast to the aircon unit and turn it off, and if it drops below 17 degrees, it obviously turns it back on again to warm up the room. We have now turned a really dumb air conditioning unit into one that runs flawlessly without me having to do anything by itself. Now, power banks can go ahead and power your laptop over USB-C using power delivery. Basically makes an entire day of editing in the coffee shop a viable solution now. Now, we do have a video coming up soon about garden lighting, and I am using my EcoFlow Delta Pro, charging it up via 4 solar panels on the roof of my shed, and this is supplying power to my entire garden all night, and then the cycle rinse and repeats every single day with the solar panels on the roof. We've tested out a lot of these battery banks, all the way from massive ones to small ones. Recently, we've had the Bluetooth EB70 through the door, and this can output over 1,000 watts at 240 volts here in the UK. So whether you have a power cut or you just want to avoid some of your high utility bill charges and you want to charge your battery bank up, I wanted to let you guys know that these things are available. They're here now, and these are things that you can do today. You never know when the power is going to be interrupted, so having a backup is always handy. So moving on from batteries to audio. On my recent smart home tour, people were really fascinated with the Vessel audio streamers that I had in this very loft right above me. Now, these are Vessel audio zones, and they are very similar to that of a Sonos Connect amp, in the sense that these things are connected to the internet, you give them some power, and you can go ahead and connect a pair of speakers to these that need amplification. So I've got a set of speakers here and a zone in this room right here, and I can go ahead and use Spotify Connect to cast to that Vessel zone. They also have things like AirPlay 2 built in, etc, etc. I have 2 zones up there. Another one is for the kitchen, and with AirPlay 2 I can go ahead and link both of these together to get multi-room audio. The reason why I'm a massive fan of the Vessel units is because with the Sonos units, you are basically tied into the Sonos ecosystem as soon as you buy one of their products. They have a standalone app that you basically have to use to cast music to the Sonos speakers. Whereas with the Vessel system, the app is only used basically to set up the streamers, and then once the streamers are set up and on your network, and yes, they can be Ethernet or Wi-Fi, you then use your app of choice. So whether it's AirPlay, Spotify Connect, Google Cast, or whatever it may be, to then interface with the actual Vessel streamers themselves. But I listen to music every single day, and having the music readily available in every room is, well, it's great for what I need. This is the Dbot X1 Omni, and we've already done an entire dedicated video on what this thing can do because it is so intricate. But all you guys need to know is a year on, With some maintenance, this machine has kept my kitchen floor clean every single day. And that is massive for me, considering I have a husky that lives with me, and well, once or twice a year he goes through a massive sort of shedding season, if you like. It is crazy. So I think the thing that really fascinates me about these devices, and especially the more expensive ones, is they turn from dumb robots that would just go around the room hitting every single wall hoping to pick up debris, to actual smart robots that can map out your house. And the reason why this is really important is because with the map of your space, you can go ahead and tell the bot to clean certain parts of the room. So let's say you've been cooking near the island and you've made some mess on the floor. You can draw a box on your virtual kitchen and say, clean this area and this area only, and then in 10 minutes the area is clean, and I've not had to get the mop out. The main way this is used in my life though is on schedules. So 6 a.m. every other day, the robot comes to life, cleans the kitchen for me, so when I come down 1 hour later to make my morning coffee, the kitchen is lovely and clean. Honestly, when the robot isn't working and I'm take it away for maintenance and start cleaning it and it's out of action for a couple of days, it really hits home as to how much this thing helps me out on a daily basis. Now, a lot of the items in this video are super expensive, and I know that can put a lot of people off, which is why I'm happy to introduce today's video sponsor, Clana. With the Clana app on your mobile device, this allows you to search and compare through countless items, all the way from smart home tech to clothing. This allows you to make sure you're getting a great price for all of the items that you search for. The app has a great search and compare feature, which does what it says on the tin. It allows you to search for items and compare the prices of those items across numerous retailers over the web. If you are wanting to get a great deal, Clana can display you with the prices of items over time, so you can make an educated decision on when is the best time to buy. Within the app, you can also read reviews of products and you can get notified of price drops, which is really handy. The Clana app should be your first port of call when you're searching for not only tech items, but basically anything to make sure that you are getting a great price. Plus, inside of Clana's app, you can keep track of all your purchases and payments, get personalized recommendations and exclusive deals, and Clana's trusted by millions of shoppers and merchants worldwide. So if you do want to check them out, I'll put all the links down there in the description for you guys. And thanks to Clana for sponsoring this video. Now, coming up next, I've got the system from Acara. I use this day in, day out. We've actually done a brand new video, just released actually, on their new equipment that they're releasing for this year. However, I'm more speaking about their older equipment, which I've had now in place for over 2 or 3 years. So these basically consist of the M2 hub, which sits up in my network rack, and then a load of wirelessly placed sensors around my house. More specifically, we've got motion sensors and door contact sensors. So on their own, the Acara system, if you have some motion sensors in your rooms and contact sensors on your doors, it can act as a small little DIY security system. And considering the sensors are like 15 to 20 pounds each and they're wireless, you can place them where you want, it is cheaper than getting an actual alarm installed, and you have the versatility of having sensors wherever you want without running cables. The Acara hub at the moment, the M2, is only about £50 and it's £20 per sensor. So you can see that this is quite a cheap solution for a security system. If it's paired with your smart home ecosystem of choice, whether it's Google, Amazon, or Apple Home, you can go ahead and use the sensors as trigger devices for things like smart lighting. So when motion is detected or a door is opened, turn this light on, set this light to this color, tell this person somebody's arrived home, absolutely anything. They even make light switches which fit perfectly into the ecosystem, and I've got a few of these around my house. And the great thing about this is, for my downstairs toilet, for example, you can put a 5-minute timer on the light. So as soon as somebody clicks the button, let's say they forget to turn the light off when they leave the toilet, which I often do, after 5 minutes it will just turn off anyway. So guys, that was a few things that I use every single day whilst I am in my smart home. We've got the stuff from Switchbot, we've got the stuff from Acara, we've got battery backups in the case of an emergency or just to curb your utility bills. We've also got audio streaming as well in the form of Vessel amplifiers, which over the last few years have been absolutely flawless in my testing. And as well some autonomous robots that can go ahead and keep your entire space clean. One thing that is really important in a smart home, as I've mentioned before, is having a solid internet and Wi-Fi distributed around your house for the smart home devices to use. Because if the network falls to pieces, everything else will too. So we do have a video coming up about how to improve your home broadband and settings you should change very, very soon. But for now, guys, my name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.